What's up, Rivalers? Just a few days ago, we got our first look at Venom and the Adam Warlock character reveals, and man, they look amazing. But aside from being one of the most requested characters to add to the game, there's something else about Venom that I don't see a lot of people talking about. There's something different about Venom that is going to completely change the landscape of Marvel Rivals and all future characters. So I don't want to waste a single second of your time, let's get into it. So Venom is going to be a Vanguard, which is Marvel Rivals' version of tanks. That makes a lot of sense for someone like Venom, and I'm glad they went this route because it would have been kind of lame to have a guy that looks as beefy and intimidating as Venom and have him be a squishy DPS. However, taking a look at his kit, he has a lot of offensive tools. In fact, all of his tools are purely offensive. Whereas the other Vanguards in the game focus more on soaking damage and giving utility to other characters, like with Hulk's shield he gives to an ally, or Doctor Strange's portal that opens up new traversal for his team. Yeah, Venom doesn't do any of that. Venom's bread and butter ability is going to be this aerial dive, putting him right where he wants to be on the enemy backline. That doesn't really sound like a tank, right? Tanks usually want to stand in front of their teams and protect their healers and DPS. Venom also has the same mobility as Spider-Man, who has some of the most insane mobility in any game ever. They can both web swing and wall crawl, so like, what is going on here? Tanks are not normally known for their mobility. Is Venom actually a tank? Well, yes and no. Venom is going to be classified as something called a dive tank, so much more similar to Winston or D.Va than Reinhardt. Venom is going to be the first character in Marvel Rivals to truly blend two different classes. He's going to be half tank and half DPS, which is going to make him play completely different to all the other characters in the game. Has insane damage output, a chunky health bar, but not as chunky as someone like Hulk, and a much more aggressive playstyle. Playing Venom isn't going to be about outlasting the enemy tanks, it is going to be about swinging into the sky, diving onto the enemy squishies, and eating their heads. I mean, even his ultimate is just straight up about killing enemies, not protecting his team or himself, just killing. The fact that Venom is going to completely shake up the classification system of the game is really exciting because it opens the door to really inventive team comps and playstyles. We shouldn't expect every character going forward to fit neatly into a box and be a tank, DPS, or healer. Now that we know Venom is a dive tank with a little bit of multiple classes in his kit, who knows what future characters can be? Maybe they'll make Nightcrawler a healer and DPS. Maybe they'll make Juggernaut a DPS and tank. Marvel Rivals has been very clear since the beginning that the way they classify characters is not like other games. I mean, that's evident even in the naming scheme because they don't call tanks tanks, they call them Vanguards. They call DPS specialists and healers strategists. And as someone who has played games like League of Legends and Overwatch, Venom really appeals to me because my favorite characters in those games are the ones that blur the lines between roles. Pyke is an assassin and support. Senna is a marksman and support. Ana is a sniper, but also a healer. When you're playing characters that aren't put into a box and enforced by the game's rigid design to do one and only one thing, it's so much more fun and opens up a lot of leeway for you to find your own playstyle. So give us more of these types of hybrid characters, Marvel. Give us a healer that also assassinates people. Give us a tank that brings back the dead or something, I don't know. Go crazy. Now that Venom is opening the floodgates for hybrid classifications, it really is getting me excited just thinking about all the possible character kits and classes. It's that same excitement that I felt when I saw the very first trailer for Marvel Rivals. Like, even now that I've played the game for over 30 hours, I am just having so much fun thinking up all the different ways Marvel could classify future characters. So let me know down in the comments if you're excited for Venom, and I will see you in the next one, Rivalers.